आशानामनदी मनोरथजला तृष्णातरङ्गाकुला रागग्राहवती वितर्कविहगा धैर्यद्रुमध्वंसिनी मोहावर्तसुदुस्तरातिगहना प्रोत्तुङ्गचिन्तातटी तस्याः पारगता विशुद्धमनसो नन्दन्ति योगीश्वराः.
Today, we sit with one of the most vivid verses in all of Sanskrit literature, from the pen of Bhartrhari, the king who became a renunciant. It comes from his Vairagya Shataka, the 100 verses on dispassion. Listen to it first as a whole. Asha namanadi manoratha jala, trishna taranga akula, ragagrahavati vitarka vihaga, dhairya drumadvamsini, moha avarta sudustara atigahana, prottunga chintatati. Tasya paragata vishuddha manaso nandanti yogeshvara. There is a river, says Bhartrhari, and its name is hope. Its water is daydream. It churns with waves of craving. Crocodiles of attachment lurk beneath its surface. Birds of restless speculation circle above it. It uproots the trees of courage that grow along its banks. It is deep beyond fathoming, nearly impossible to cross, spinning with whirlpools of delusion, and its towering cliffs are made of anxiety itself. But those great masters of yoga who have crossed to its far shore, their minds washed clean, they rejoice. Let us walk through the words. Asha means hope, expectation, the mind reaching forward into tomorrow. Nama means named, so called, and there is a wry smile in that word, as if to say, this thing you all speak of so fondly, this thing called hope. Nadi is river, and the word comes from the root nad, which means to roar. A river is literally the roaring one. Hope is never silent, it murmurs in us constantly. And what is this river made of? Manoratha jala, its water is Manoratha. Manas is mind, Ratha is chariot. Manoratha, the chariot of the mind, is the beautiful Sanskrit word for a daydream, the vehicle the mind climbs into when it wants to leave the present moment. So the river is not made of money or pleasure or fame. It is made of fantasy itself. The wanting is the water. Trishna taranga akula, churned by waves of trishna, craving. The root trish means to thirst. And notice the precision here. Craving comes in waves. It is not constant. It rises, it crests, it crashes, and it rises again. Hold that detail. We will return to it. Raga Grahavati. The river has crocodiles. Raga from the root ranj, to color or to stain, is attachment, the passion that dyes the mind. And Graha literally means the seizer. A crocodile does not chase you on dry land. It wades in its own element, and when you wade in, thinking the water is shallow and pleasant, it seizes you and pulls you under. That is how attachment works. The enjoyment you thought you controlled quietly becomes the need that controls you. Vitarka vihaga. Birds of speculation flit over the surface. What if I try this? Maybe if I had chosen that. The endless mental chatter that keeps the river looking alive and inviting. Then comes the most piercing image of all. Dhairya drumadvamsini. This river destroys the trees of dhairya, of fortitude and resolve. Think about how a river in flood kills a tree, not by attacking the tree. It undercuts the bank the tree is rooted in, and the mightiest trunk falls, roots and all. This is Bhartrhari telling us why willpower alone fails. Your resolutions are trees planted on the river bank of hope. When desire floods, it does not fight your discipline. It dissolves the ground your discipline stands on. Moha avarta, whirlpools of delusion, making the river sudustara, so hard to cross, and atigahana, unfathomably deep. A whirlpool is desire's own signature motion, circular, self-reinforcing. Just one more and then I will stop. That thought is a whirlpool. It feels like movement, but it returns you to the same place, a little deeper each time. And the banks? Protunga chintatati. The towering cliffs of this river are made of chinta, worry. Even if you never swim, even if you only stand at the edge wanting, you are already standing on anxiety. Before you attain, the anxiety of pursuit. After you attain, the anxiety of loss. Within the river system, there is no anxiety-free place to stand. Who wrote this? Tradition says Bhartrhari was a king. The famous legend tells of a sage who gave him a fruit of immortality. The king, loving his queen, gave it to her. The queen loved another and gave it to him. That man gave it to a courtesan he adored, and she, thinking the king most worthy of long life, brought it back to Bhartrhari. Holding the fruit that had traced the full circle of everyone's misplaced hope, he saw the river whole and he walked away from his throne. Now here is what makes this verse timeless. Modern psychology has rediscovered it limb by limb. Researchers call it the hedonic treadmill. Attainment resets our baseline and the wanting resumes. The river refills from upstream. Neuroscience finds that dopamine fires most powerfully not when we get the reward, but when we anticipate it. The brain literally runs on manoratha, on the wanting water, not the object. And addiction therapists teach a technique they call urge surfing, riding a craving like a wave that crests and passes within minutes rather than fighting it. 25 centuries apart, the same discovery. Trishna comes in waves and waves pass. The Buddhists made the same crossing their central image. The awakened one is Paragata, gone beyond, gone to the far shore. And the Bhagavad Gita gives the mirror image. The sage is like the ocean which all rivers enter, and yet it remains full and unmoved. Notice finally what the masters in this verse do not do. They do not dam the river. They do not drain it. They do not wrestle the crocodiles. They cross it. And the last word of the verse is the whole teaching. Nandanti, they rejoice. We assume that letting go of hope means despair, that the far shore must be grey and joyless. Bhartrhari says the opposite. Hope, examined closely, is the endless postponement of joy. I will be happy when. Crossing the river means joy stops living downstream. It arrives. So this week, try one simple practice. Once a day, when a craving rises, to check the phone, to buy the thing, to replay the fantasy, pause and name it. Taranga, a wave. Do not suppress it. That is planting a doomed tree on an eroding bank. Do not obey it. That is swimming with crocodiles. Just watch it with curiosity and time it. Feel it rise, crest and pass, usually within minutes. Then note what the wave promised you and what its passing actually cost you. Usually nothing. Each wave you watch instead of ride is one stroke toward the far shore. And the quiet discovery waiting there is Bhartrhari's final word. Vishuddha manaso nandanti yogeshwaraha. Their minds made clear, they rejoice.
आशानामनदी मनोरथजला तृष्णातरङ्गाकुला रागग्राहवती वितर्कविहगा धैर्यद्रुमध्वंसिनी मोहावर्तसुदुस्तरातिगहना प्रोत्तुङ्गचिन्तातटी तस्याः पारगता विशुद्धमनसो नन्दन्ति योगीश्वराः